Okay, so this video is on factoring a binomial by trial and error. So it's going to be similar to factoring a trinomial by trial and error. Let's say if we have a binomial x squared minus 4, you could write that as a trinomial. So that would be the same as x squared plus 0x minus 4. So now we have a trinomial, 0x, 0 times x, that's the same as 0. Adding 0 doesn't change its value. So if we use our diagram, x squared, you could write that as x times x, which will give you x squared. And that matches with our first term. Our last term is negative 4. You can get negative 4 with 2 times negative 2. Will give you negative 4. That's our matches with our last term. And we just need to check that our middle term matches. So we follow the x. X times negative 2 is negative 2x plus x times 2, that is 2x. So these are opposite numbers. Whenever you add opposite numbers, that gives you 0. And that matches with 0x. So everything matches. So this is a factor, and this is a factor. So x plus 2 and x minus 2. So if you were to multiply this out, you should end up with x squared minus 4. And this is a special set of factors. The only difference between these is this has plus and this has minus. So you would call this a conjugate pair of factors. And what's special about a conjugate pair of factors? If you multiply them out, the middle term is 0. That's what happens here. We get negative 2x plus 2x is equal to 0. So let's look at one more example. So say we have 9x squared minus y squared. Okay, we could do this the same way. So you could write this as 9x squared plus 0 xy, it doesn't matter what you multiply by 0, it'll be equal to 0, minus y squared. So we have a trinomial, we have a diagram. So 9x squared, you could get that with 3x and 3x. That would give us 9x squared. So that matches with our first term. Negative y squared, you can get that with y, and negative y. That'll give us negative y squared. That matches with our last term. And then you could check the middle term. You might be able to see that it's going to be equal to 0, but let's check it anyway. 3x times negative y is negative 3xy plus 3x times y, that's 3xy. Okay, so this is opposite. These are opposite numbers, so that'll give you 0, and that matches with our middle term. So 3x plus y is a factor, and 3x minus y is a factor. 3x plus y times 3x minus y. And if you multiply this out, you'll get this, because the middle term will be 0. And that's it. So it's not too bad.